What's up everyone, Ash here. I'll be sharing to you my in-depth guide for Bounty Hunter and PvP. Also, I'm assuming that if you're watching this video, you probably have a little bit of experience, knowledge about the PvP mechanics of the game, so we can skip those boring stuff. Let's start off by showcasing every skill that I think are the best in every possible situation. First, Flurry Shots. Flurry Shots is a good super armor skill, good catch, and also a mobility skill. It also have a small AoE at the end of the dash, so you don't have to be simple from Counter-Strike to have the perfect game. Next is Slide Attack. It works exactly the same as Flurry Shots but without the AoE at the end, plus it has shorter range. Enchanted Twin Eagles. It's one of the two catch stagger skill that you have in your kit. Plus, it has a debuff that weakens the enemy's physical defense, so it's perfect to land your big damage skill during this. Twilight Pursuit. It is your second best catch / stagger plus launch skill, also big damage. Domain Temporal Lockdown is the second finisher of the Bounty Hunter class. I prefer putting it on the first slot, so whenever it is up, I won't need to use Dance of Ashes first. Dance of Ashes, your first finisher. I mostly use this as a combo ender. To be honest, it really doesn't mesh well with the juggles, combos, plus the damage is not that great. Rain Down Fire, or like Rain Up Fire, is a good continuous chip damage, plus whenever the enemy is launched, it's the best at juggling them in the air forever. Or at least until the buff wears off or their protection meter pops. Frostwind Bullet is one of your big damage skill, meaning you always need to make sure the skill lands. It also makes your enemy frozen, but only for like 0.5 seconds. Rain of Destruction is your second big damage skill. Same rule with Frostwind Bullet, you need to make sure you hit this skill. Now, I'll show you some basic combos or skills that are perfect to chain together. First, Flurry into Rain Down Fire, follow up by Enchanted Twin Eagles for the debuff, finish it with Frostwind. As you can see from the chain, you are able to pop the first protection meter. Twilight into Enchanted Twin Eagles for the debuff again, burst damage from the Rain of Destruction, and again, to top it off, finish it with Frostwind. Dashes. As we all know, everyone likes running around for positioning, preparations, and etc. For Bounty Hunter, we have a passive that gives movement speed every time you dash. It can also be stacked 5 times. So at the beginning of the round, I usually dash 2 times. I let my dash cool down, so when the match starts, I'm still left with 2 charges. Here's a secret tech. Slide Attack also gives you free dash / run. So whenever you find yourself in a situation where you don't have any dashes left, you can use your Slide Attack to reposition and get out of those sticky situations. Aerial Combat. I believe almost every class has something in their kit for them to do aerial combat. Magicians, Maggie Blade, Cloud Striders, just to name a few. But still, I think it all comes down to your playstyle and to your own preference. Bounty Hunter is one of the classes that I think, and what I also call, the aerial combat class counter class.
What?
Believe it or not, we have a few counter skills for classes that enjoys jumping and flying around. One is Flurry Shots. Remember the small AoE I said earlier? It works well in midair too. Also, in case you overassumed or miscalculated that the enemy will jump or play aerial, don't worry about it, because Flurry Shots can still hit targets on the ground. Pretty OP, right? Just imagine the sphere around your character. But still, you need to be mindful of the distance between you and your target. Second is Twilight Pursuit. Nothing much, the animation is still the same, but the range of the AoE, it can also hit enemies in the air. You're probably wondering in my combos, why do I always use Frostwind as a combo ender? Well, that's because of the protection meter. Let me tell you what the game doesn't tell you. Here's how it works. Whenever you're about to pop the enemy's protection meter, every damage you deal is 100%. But if you pop their protection buff, any damage you deal would be less.
Ugh.
So Ash, why Frostwind? Why not Rain of Destruction, since you mentioned it also deals big damage? Because Rain of Destruction is a multi-hit skill, unlike Frostwind with a single hit burst damage. This tip is also applicable to every class. Just remember to save your big damage before the protection buff pops. So that's it. I hope this video helped you in any way. So get out there, don't be toxic, enjoy every match, and happy grindings in the leaderboard. Peace.
Here's Johnny.
Run.